Chapter 1. Before gods had names, before the first temples rose from stone, before altars smoked, before scriptures hardened into law, the human being stood exposed beneath an immense and indifferent sky and felt something move within. There were no doctrines then, no moral systems, no cosmologies refined by priests or philosophers. There was only the raw encounter between awareness and existence, birth, hunger, fear, ecstasy, death. Life pressed in from every direction, demanding response. This pressure was not yet interpreted as divine, it was felt as immediacy. Thunder was not a message, it was terror and awe combined. Fire was not sacred, it was survival and danger intertwined. The night sky was not symbolic, it was overwhelming, endless, alive with unknown intention. Early humanity did not worship nature, it negotiated with it, listened to it, feared it, and slowly learned to move with its rhythms. In Zalsarian terms, this was the seed state of consciousness, awareness embedded within life, not yet separate enough to objectify it. The world was not out there. It was intimate, animate, participatory. Stones, animals, rivers, ancestors, all were experienced as carriers of presence. This is why the earliest spiritual expressions were not beliefs. They were practices, drumming, breath control, fasting, dance, vision, initiatory ordeal. The shaman did not preach truth. They entered it. Through rhythm, through deprivation, through bodily intensity. They allowed consciousness to loosen from its ordinary constraints and move into altered states. These were not escapes from reality. They were deeper penetrations into it. From a Zalsarian perspective, these practices represent humanity's first engagement with the current, the living movement that presses awareness beyond stasis and forces transformation. The shaman's journey was not symbolic theater. It was an early technology of consciousness, designed to survive pressure by converting it into vision. Crucially, there was no sharp divide between sacred and mundane. Hunting, childbirth, weather, illness, death, all were thresholds through which the same force moved. Spiritual life was not a separate domain. It was woven into survival itself. But pressure does not remain static. As populations grew and settlements formed, the intimacy of this relationship began to strain. The world grew larger, more complex, more threatening. The seed could no longer remain diffuse. Experience demanded structure, memory demanded story. And so, the unseen began to take form. Spirits gained personalities, forces acquired names, patterns were personified. What had once been felt directly began to be mediated through image and myth. The current, still alive, began its long translation into symbol. This was not corruption. It was adaptation. Humanity was learning how to carry the fire without being consumed by it. The age of nameless presence was ending. The age of gods was about to begin, and with it, both preservation and forgetting would walk hand in hand.